We're here.
So I'll pop you on mute, and then we can get started. Oh, you might need blocks. In fact, you probably will need blocks. So if you just grab a couple of blocks or one, either or. And then you can start off sitting down actually this evening. So if you want to sit up onto a block, you can, or you can sit down however's comfortable, either legs crossed or legs just extended out. And then just take a moment, maybe just turn the palms down gently onto the thighs, close down the eyes. If that's okay, or just soften the eyes, soften the gaze down. So just relaxing the eyes at the end of the day. And then just with the eyes closed, just bringing your awareness into your breath. Just becoming aware of the breath to begin. And then just becoming aware of the physical body. So just feeling the body sitting down onto the ground, onto the mat, onto the floor. Awareness into the points of contact with the mat. Awareness to the base of the spine. And then as you breathe in this time, imagining you can draw the breath from the base of the spine, up the channel of the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out from the crown of the head, back down the column of the spine, back down to the base of the spine. Just breathing up and down the length of the spine. Maybe naturally lengthening the inhale and the exhale. Really feeling as though the crown of the head is stacked just above that base of the spine. So you've got that lovely long channel of the spinal column, Ashushumna Nadi. That energy channel all the way up the length of the spine, and you're just nourishing that channel with your breath up and down. Maybe as you exhale, you can imagine the breath traveling from the base of the spine down into the mat, into the earth. And then as you breathe in, you're drawing up from the earth, up the spine, and then beyond the crown of the head. So breathing now beyond the barrier of the physical body. Feeling the lower body, the foundation of the body grounded and anchored. Now feeling an expansion from the crown of the head. You notice maybe the breath has just got nice and long now. Maybe you want to bring in that little constriction just in the back of the throat to come into Ujjayi breath. So the breath will become slightly audible. That little constriction just at the back of the throat. And that will also just naturally lengthen and deepen the breath, and also just bring a warming sense of the breath into the body. So as though we can really warm into the body, warming from the inside out. Up and down the column of the spine, the crown of the head stacked, the slightly above the base. And the breath just traveling up and down that imaginary column. Beyond the barrier of the physical body. Feeling a sense of being anchored down into the earth and expanding and opening from the crown of the head. And when you're ready, you can just blink open the eyes and you'll come down onto your back. So if your block's there, just pop it to one side. Keep the blocks handy. And then just roll your way down. So mindfully, as always, of just one vertebrae at a time. And then the last thing to come down is the head, the weight of the skull. Maybe just tucking the chin slightly so the back of the neck lengthens. And just bring feet as wide as the mat. So feeling the pelvis nice and balanced, feeling that nice curve of the spine. And just gently dropping knees one way and the other with your breath. So the inhale draws you up, the exhale drops you over. And just moving at your own pace. If you like, you can close the eyes and you can just keep the awareness into the body. And not being distracted by the room around you, the space around you. Full awareness into that lower part of the body. Into that foundation of the body, the feet, the legs, the knees, and then the hips that are just moving into their sockets here. Rounding a smooth and fluid movement of the legs, of the hips, matching that fluid in and out of the breath. And then just come up to center. You can extend out with the left leg. We'll hug the right knee in. So keeping the pelvis balanced still here. So the knee will draw into the chest. You can give it a little squeeze. If it's too much, you can bend the left knee, place the foot down, otherwise reaching the left heel away. And again, just coming into that right hip, just a couple of circles. Holding on with the right hand. Around, maybe switching direction. And then crossing the leg over the body for a twist. And the chest stays open, the shoulder blades anchor down. And you can imagine that breath traveling up and down the right side of the body now. A lovely, fluid, warming breath. Opening up the right side. Maybe just feeling gravity draw that knee down. If you want to pop your block underneath the knee. In breath. Come on up, take half happy baby. So either outer edge of the foot or holding onto the toe. On that right side and the right hip. The right shoulder will stay anchored down. If it's easier to bend the left knee, you can bend the left knee. And then just seeing what feels best in your body, whether it's better. Just slightly rock the weight of the pelvis left and right, or if it's better to just find stillness there. The strap, you can always use a strap to just have a little bit more space between the hand and the foot. Take a couple of those lovely smooth breaths there. Now we'll bend the left knee, placing the right ankle on top of the left knee. Take the forward, just a gentle one to begin. So keeping that knee on the right side, just reaching away from the body, toe flexed, and just a gentle spaciousness into that right hip. And then uncross, right leg will extend, left knee will hug in. Just a moment to draw in with that left knee in towards the chest. And just squeezing, keeping that balance between both halves of the pelvis. Left hand on the left knee and just circling with that hip. So every movement, fluid, gentle, mindful. Not rushing through the poses, finding some sense of stillness in every pose, in every movement. Sense of calm and peace. Maybe switching the direction. And then taking that twist over towards the right side. You can support the knee with a block. You can just allow gravity to draw that left knee down as you roll onto the right side. Spaciousness in the left side of the body. Maybe imagining that breath at the left side of the spine now. The left side of the body. Breath fluid, smooth. Coming up. Bend the right knee in. Oh no, we'll take half-happy baby first. So either outer edge of the foot or taking the toe. And just using that long, smooth exhale to just sink down. And so the knee, the shoulder can be drawn down towards the earth. Anchored down. And bending the right knee and the left ankle will come on top. And just a gentle figure four, so the left knee just reaching away from the body. Just feeling what feels best, whether it's nice to just rock the pelvis, or whether it feels best to just find stillness in the pause in the pose. Allowing the breath just be fluid and easy. Maybe keeping that ujjayi breath, warming the throat, warming the breath as it travels down into the lungs. And then release. Roll our way over to one side, come up into a seat, but we'll bring the legs out in front. So feet as wide as the mat and just windscreen wipers with the legs here. Just like as when we were lying down. You can keep the hands behind for a little support. Just these dropping over with the rhythm of the breath. And then we'll pause over to the right side and just bring the torso up, twist around, deer pose. So we twist over with our legs. Twist over the right leg, the right hand behind, the crown of the head, drawing up that column of the spine. And as you exhale, maybe turning the gaze, turning the head. Just gentle twists, so warming again into the center of the body as you move into these colder months, these cooler evenings. And then come up and twist over to the left and continue with the torso, with the gaze, with the head over the shoulder. As you draw up from the earth with that in-breath, up the whole column of the spine to the crown of the head, beyond the crown of the head. And just exhale, softening into the pose. And then calming back to center. And just extend the legs out in front. Flex the toes back in breath. Point the toes away out, breath. So rolling through the ankles with the breath. In and out, up and down. And then come to a little cross leg, if that's okay. So you can grab your block again, or you can sit down onto the mat. Once again, making sure that the crown is just stacked directly above the base of the spine, and you can draw that breath up the column of the spine and back down. Awareness into the feet, the legs, the pelvis, the sitting bones. And then opening up on the in-breath, reaching the arms. And then drawing down, so you could draw down that center line of the body with the hand. In breath, open. Out breath, draw in. Once again, the in breath as though the breath is coming from beyond the body. We draw everything into the center, just pausing with the hands at the heart, lengthening the back of the neck, warming the body with the breath, and then in breath, arms up, twist into the right, gentle seated twist. Bring your awareness to the base of the spine and draw the breath up. Whole length of the spine. Out breath, just ground in, settle in. Up on an in breath. Over the other side on the out breath, twisting. Feeling an openness through the chest. Length of the spine, always just anchored down through the hips, through the pelvis. Maybe just moving with the breath, so come up in breath, over out breath, up in breath, over out breath. One more on each side, come up, over, up, and over, and up, reaching. And then just hands down, back onto the thighs. You can roll the shoulders up and open the mouth, soften the shoulders down. Once more, tension. As you draw the shoulders up, draw the crown of the head even higher. And then open the mouth, soften down. And then just maybe rolling through shoulders, through head, through neck. Moving intuitively, however feels natural, into your spine. And then we'll come forward, make your way into all fours, come into cat-cow. And keeping that nice fluid movement of the spine in cat-cow, up, open, and rounding, pressing away. And guided by that warming breath up and down the spine. Maybe closing the eyes. Full awareness into the spinal column, into the torso, into the hips, the pelvis, down into the legs, the feet, the knees, the hands, supporting the weight of the body in this position. And then just come to a neutral spine. We'll reach the right heel back. So press the right toes. Find that balance. Find that anchored sense through the 3 points of contact of the hands and the knee. And then just float up through the heel. So use the strength of the legs, of the hips, of the core. And then maybe left hand as well. Finding that sense of stability. Foundation of grounding down into the earth, being completely supported. The breath smooth maybe as it starts to warm through the legs, through the core, through the arms. And then an out breath, come down. Just find that center, and then left toes will extend back. You get that stretch down the back of the left leg. Really awareness now into the right knee, the left hand. And then a lightness through the leg to float the heel up. And then maybe the right hand as well. Being aware of that foundation that supports us and then that allows the other parts of the body to expand and open. The breath stays smooth even as things become warmer. And then up and down. Come back, we'll bring forearms down onto the mat. If you want to take your block and just place the block in between the hands, so the first finger and thumb, either side of the block. If you like to use a strap around the upper arms as well to keep them in place, you can. Otherwise, just planting down through the palms. And we'll reach the heels back into forearm plank. So that warmth in the center of the body again. The crown of the head reaching away from the base of the spine. And then allow the pelvis to drop down. Chest to open through the arms. We'll untuck the toes and plant all of the 10 toes down. The crown of the head drawing up now. So that upward curve of the spine. Facing the collarbones. Maybe just pressing down through the toes, pressing down through the thighs. Once again, we'll take another forearm plank. So you can either just come to the knees and you'll still feel that warmth into the core, or float the knees up and find that long line of energy from the heels past the base of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. Keep the breath smooth and then drop the pelvis. Draw up into Sphinx, untuck the toes. Spaciousness in the chest, the lower body, the pelvis, the legs. All anchor down. And then this time we'll just come to knees. We'll walk the knees in. So the knees will come under the hips, maybe even a little further forward. We'll tuck the toes. And then maybe coming up into dolphin pose. So the elbows are down, palms of the hands, the first finger and thumb are anchored. Just challenging the body, but creating that warmth in the body. The head just hangs down. And then when you're ready to come down, just bring the knees wide, keep the toes together, and sink back to child's pose, the hips onto the heels. Butt can just go to one side. And maybe bring the forehead down, third eye down onto the mat. Still keeping that awareness into the spinal column. So that awareness right at the base of the spine, in between the two halves of the pelvis. So the spine can just open and lengthen. It's supported there by the pelvis and by the weight of the crown of the head down onto the earth. So finding once again that lovely fluid breath in your child's pose, Balasana. Ready for a lovely smooth exhale. Right down that center line of the spine. And walk the hands up, press your way onto the knees, we'll bring the knees together. We'll just tuck the toes under. The toe stretch, stretching through the feet that support us, and anchors to the earth throughout the day. Foundation of the body. That little stretch here, maybe coming all the way up. And then hands will come down. You'll just roll back into a little squat. Maybe the heels reach the ground, maybe they don't. And then if you need to just straighten the legs to anchor the heels down. Weight into the heels as the torso rests onto the thighs and the crown of the head drops. Uttanasana. Shift the weight of the body back into the heels. Brush the fingers along the mat. Make your way up to Utkatasana, chair pose. So really feeling the foundation of the legs here, that strength and support of the legs. Deep breath in and then slowly to the count of 4, we'll fold our way down. 3 and 4. Crown of head drop. Maybe here the knees can straighten slightly if you want to just bring the floor a little closer by placing the hands on a block. You can. Knees can still stay bent, but maybe as we anchor down into the heels, hips can just float a little higher and we can feel that length all the way down the spinal column. Just allowing the head to hang. Maybe nodding and shaking, releasing through the neck. Block. One side, bring the hands down, we'll walk our way out. Come into a normal plank, so the heels will reach away. Find that line of energy up the back of the body, up the length of the spine. Then knees, chest, chin down. Ashtangasana. And coming into a little cobra, so not our fullest expression of a cobra. So rather than using the hands to press up, we really use that support of the legs. So we press all of the toes, we press the thighs down, the pelvis down. And from there we can just find that gentle curve in the spine. Maybe even the hands can just float up slightly, but completely supported by the lower body. And then hands will come down, we'll tuck toes and we'll come back to down dog. Arrive in your down dog, make any movement you need, any adjustment. And anchored through the left side as you float up through the right heel. Out breath, bring the right knee to the chest. Then right foot in between the hands, reach the left heel back again. Just shifting the foot forward as much as you need. And then left knee anchors down, top of the left foot, grounds down, supporting the low body as you come up. Anjaneyasana. Maybe you want to open up little cactus through the arms and come up. Maybe just sink the pelvis back. And then allow it to draw down to the earth. With the right sole of the foot, the left knee, the top of the left foot, all grounding down and allowing the upper body just open up. The right hand will come to the right thigh, leaning over to the right side, stretching this whole right side of the body, right side of the spine, muscles on the front of the right thigh. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, the hands will come down. And we'll step back. Downward facing dog. Right side anchors now. And left heel floats. Any amount. Out breath, left knee to chest. Left foot in between the hands, right heel reaches back. Moment to arrive and then drop the knee down. Rooting, finding that centered place and drawing all the way up. Maybe opening the shoulders, opening the chest. In breath back up. Just drawing back through the pelvis, finding a softness in that left leg. And then engaging again through the left leg as you allow the pelvis to drop down. Left hand, left thigh. And the side bend over to that left side. And really ground through the low body, open up through the upper body. Maybe feeling warmth into the legs here. And then coming up. Hands down, out breath. Step back. Down dog. Look to the hands, just walk the feet forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold, shift the weight back into the heels. Brush the fingers, Utkatasana, chair pose at the front of the mat. A grounding through the feet. Stability in that foundation of the body. And slowly, knees bent as we rest the torso down onto the thighs. Hips maybe inching a little higher, the crown of the head dropping down, finding that length of the column of the spine. And then right foot steps back. Moment high lunge. Drop the knee, anchor down, open up, Anjaneyasana. Maybe exhale, find space in the shoulders. Inhale, draw up. And open up to the left side, so twisting to the left. And prayer twist, the elbow outside the knee, arms together. And again, that twisting through the spine, bringing length, openness into the column of the spine, warmth in the center of the body. Maybe tucking the back toe. And coming all the way up. Keeping the back knee down, depending on how the balance is, how the legs are feeling. But that real strong foundation of the legs allows the chest to turn open, allows us to deepen into our twist. And that left hip hugging in towards the center line. And then releasing. Hands down, step back, either down dog or child's pose. Paddling out through the legs perhaps. Balancing out through the spine and then looking in between the hands, the right foot will step forward. Left heel back, drop knee, draw up. Anjali Asana. Open chest. In breath, come up, out breath. Twisting to right side and setting up for prayer twist. Palms stack, elbows stack, shoulders stack. Maybe the gaze comes up if the balance is okay. And then if you like, you can tuck the back toes. You can come all the way up. Or just keep the knee down. Just find the variation that suits you, that allows you to anchor through the low body and to twist and lengthen through the spine, through the chest. And keep the breath fluid and smooth as you're here. Not holding tension or holding the breath. And then when you're ready to release, the hands will come down, we'll step forward. Inhale, Adha Uttanasana, exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Weight into heels, bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. And out breath. Forward bend. Torso rests onto thigh. In breath, come up once again. Uttanasana, Utkatasana. We'll bring hands to heart. And then same again, twisting over to the left side for twisted chair. Prasrita Utkatasana. The hips stay level. We stay grounded through both legs. Take a breath in and a breath out to forward bend, Uttanasana, and brushing fingers, Utkatasana, slowly coming up, hands to heart, twisting to the right, left elbow up, twisted chair. Really feeling the foundation of the legs, that strength of the legs, the balance of the left and the right side, and that extension and length through the spine. And then release, fold forward. And straighten the legs if you like, maybe just shake out through the legs, release through the legs, and then bend in. Keeping the spine long. If you want to place the hands on a block, you can. Allow the torso to rest onto the thighs. And then lengthen the spine. In breath, out breath. Right foot will step back. We'll come into our lunge. The heel reaches back. Keep the knee up this time. Inhale and lengthen. And then exhale, just straightening that front leg. So stretching through the hamstring of the left leg. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, straighten the front leg. Maybe the back leg comes inside. In breath. Come up. Out breath, this time we'll just walk the back foot in Maybe you want to take both blocks as we come into pyramid pose. We rest the hands either side of the leg or onto the shin into pyramid. So the front knee is straight, but we have a little soft bend into the knee so we don't lock the knee. And we keep an equal weight into the front foot and the back foot. And the pelvis is balanced, the legs are anchoring down, and the spine can lengthen. And maybe as you exhale, you can just hinge at the hips and bring the nose down towards the knee into your pyramid pose. Either rest on the blocks and the shins or onto the mat on the fingertips. Don't overcompensate on the left side. We keep that balance of both halves of the pelvis. And then hands onto the hips. Come all the way up to standing. Step up to the front of the mat. Maybe just open up through the arms. Out breath, release the arms down. Maybe roll through the shoulders if you like. And then the left foot will step back. We'll come back down into our lunge. So either fingertips down or hands onto blocks as you reach the left heel back to keep the pelvis square. Inhale and open. Exhale, just straightening that right leg any amount, folding over. And with the breath, inhale, coming up. Exhale, straightening rounding. Inhale. And exhale, this time we'll just bring the back foot in. The heels will come into alignment for pyramid. You can bring the blocks either side of the foot or just rest onto the shin or onto the fingertips. Just finding that center, so drawing the right hip into center. Lengthening that column of the spine and either staying with the spine long or hinging from the hips. So keeping that length of the spine as you fold down. Maybe resting the fingertips onto the blocks or onto the mat. Into pyramid. So we really support the weight of the upper body through the leg. Breath deep in it, lengthening. Round down. To the hips. Come all the way up. And stepping up front of the mat. In breath, maybe opening up through the spine. You can take a bend over to one side, back through center and through the other, and just feeling that expansion through the spine. And then bringing feet hips distance apart, weight into the heels again. Bend the knees, brush the fingers along the mat. Utkatasana, chair pose once again. So really strong through the legs. Breath in and a slow, smooth forward bend. Uttanasana. In breath, Adho Uttanasana and lengthen. Out breath, right foot steps back into our lunge. In breath, open up. Out breath, pyramid pose, heel to heel in line. Maybe onto the blocks again. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, draw everything into center. Maybe as you hinge down or keep the spine long. Hands onto the hips. In breath, come all the way up. Find that centered weight of the legs. The left hand will stay on the hip. The right hand will reach high. Reaching through the fingertips of the right hand and then hinging. So you're reaching away from you. And then right hand will come onto the block, either on the outside of the foot, or you can keep it on the inside. Just setting up for twisted triangle. So you can stay here with the hand on the hip, or maybe reach the left hand back. Or you can open up into your twist. Deep twist through the spine, and we really rely on the foundation of the legs here. So both sides of the hips, both of the feet, anchoring us down. We can be light onto the right hand. As we open up to the left. If it's too much to twist, you can keep the gaze down, keep the arm reaching back, and just bringing that right shoulder into center. Just finding your variation where you can be completely supported by both legs. You can find that centered place. You can find a nice smooth breath. Ready to breathe. Bringing the left hand down, maybe both hands onto the block. Extending through the spine, maybe folding in. And then stepping your way forward. Lengthen in breath, fold in, out breath, maybe grabbing the elbows. Just releasing through the spine after our twist. And fluid breath once again. And weight into the heels. Utkatasana, chair pose. Smooth out breath, fold down. Left foot back this time into our lunge. In breath. Maybe hands on blocks. Open up. Out breath. Straighten the legs. Step the back leg in. Pyramid pose. Heel to heel in line. In breath. Spine really nice and long. That whole column of the spine lengthening. Out breath. Maybe folding any amount. Keeping the blocks nearby as the hands come to the hips. And we come all the way up. Finding a strong foundation through the feet. The left arm can come up. The chest and the pelvis turns towards the front of the mat. The right hand rests on the hip. And then extending through the left side of the body. And eventually the left hand can come to a block or to the floor or to the leg. We draw the left shoulder into the center line as we twist the right shoulder up and maybe extending with the right fingertips into Pavrita Trikonasana, twisted triangle. Foundation through the feet. Support and grounding through the legs, allowing the spine to twist open, find space into the chest, keeping a smoothness in the breath, finding that stability of the body, the stability of the breath. And you're ready to release. Hand comes down, we lengthen the spine, you can step all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen and open. And then just folding in, maybe grabbing the elbows or taking the big toes. Just finding a comfortable variation of Uttanasana. Where you can just release through the spine. If you want to straighten one leg and the other, you can. Finding nice lengthening through the spine after our twists. And take one more chair pose, so weight into heels, coming all the way up and into the heart. And then just allowing the pelvis to draw down, the knees bend, maybe coming to the toes for a little squat. Keep the spine really nice and long, the shoulders soft. Make your way down to sitting. Let's then left leg out. Right knee will hug in. So right knee draws into the chest, the spine lovely and long. And crossing the right foot over the left. And we'll just take an open twist here. So we'll twist to the left side. So rather than crossing over the body, we'll just counter all those lovely twists we've been doing throughout our practice with a nice open twist here. So the chest turning to the left fingertips supporting the body. Maybe the head can turn if that's okay. And coming back to that length of the spinal column from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. And then just twist back into center, hug the knee in. Feel the spine lengthen as you inhale. And then sole of the foot into the inner thigh. Janu Shirshasana. So anchoring left heel down, turning the chest towards that length, extending through the arms. And then hinging any amount over the extended left leg. If you want to take a block, you can rest a block onto the thigh or onto the knee and just support the forehead there as well. Just finding a variation that suits you and that allows the body to just be supported there. Always finding that length of the spine, awareness to the base, the space in between both halves of the pelvis. Come back to that breath up and down the length. Still supported through the legs and through the feet, but in and both breaths now. Hold that up. And switch so the right leg will extend. And the left knee will hug in. Squeezing that knee in. Drawing down through the spine and crossing the leg over. Hugging it in and twisting to the right side now. So opening up with our twists. The chest turning open to the right. And you draw the crown of the head higher. Can you imagine that breath traveling all the way up to the crown of the head? Countering those twists. And yet still feeling that mobility and movement through the spine. Coming back through center, kneecaps in. Sole of the foot into the inner thigh, just twisting the torso over that right leg. Find length and openness, and then hinge. Fold your way in. Maybe gaze into the big toe or just softening the eyes and closing the eyes. The right hip reaches back as the right heel reaches away. Still supported by that lower half of the body, by our foundation. You still root from the base of the spine and draw long all the way up. Breath just becoming longer and smoother. Take that. And bring both soles of the feet together. Both knees apart for Baddha Konasana. Holding on to the toes. finding the balance of each side of the body. Once again, drawing up with the in-breath from the base to the crown of the head, and then just softening into the upper body. If you fold down, you can allow the spine to round here, allow the back to round, allow the chin to drop into the chest. Crown of the head to be drawn down towards the earth. Finding that stillness. Breath warming the body. And when you're ready, just roll your legs up. Just imagine the vertebrae of the spine stacking one on top of the other as the crown of the head. And then rolling down either legs in Baddha Konasana or extending the legs out. Just roll your way down onto the back, setting up for Shavasana. So any variation with the legs. Just allowing the palms to turn over here. Feeling the backs of the hands supported. Resting open. And the eyes are softened to close. And you can just let go of that awareness of the breath. So just allow the body to breathe itself. Feeling a sense of softness through the whole body. Feeling a release through that foundation of the body, through the feet, the legs, knees, and the pelvis. Now, no longer supporting the body, rather allowing them to be supported by the earth. Feeling softness into that lower part of the body. Release, softening, letting go. Weight of the pelvis, the weight of the base of the spine, just anchoring down into the mat, into the earth. Allowing that softness to wash up through the torso, the chest, the shoulders, down the arms. Softness up the whole column of the spine. Softness at the crown of the head. Softness, a letting go, a release of the skin of the forehead, of the eyes, of the cheeks, of the jaw. Whole of the body at ease and completely relaxed. These moments of rest, no longer needing to force the body or push the body or support the body, allowing you to just be completely supported, completely wrapped, deeply at rest. reawaken the body, maybe just taking a breath in, feeling that breath wash through the whole body all the way down to the tips of the fingers and toes. Maybe you feel some small movements in the fingers and toes. Feel a reawakening, a re-energizing of the body. Stretch, find some gentle movement. You can gradually just take time, roll over to the right side, keep the eyes closed as you come up to a seat. Just bring the hands to the heart for a moment, offering thanks for this practice, for this day, for this body, for this breath. Feel that softness through the whole of the body as you soften the hands, soften the lips, soften the eyes. Like that. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Stop that recording.